Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hello.
All right, guys. We're back. Things are afoot. All right, so we got some things to talk about. Not a huge docket. So we're going to jump right in. There is a review that Carrie and I did. She had the luxury of going to see Sonic 2. So check out that review. It is spoiler-free about the... by the time you're listening to this, the newly released Sonic sequel. Checked out this week. I watched season 4 of Formula One Drive to Survive. Look, I watched the first 2 seasons of this show. I loved it. I did not have a chance to watch season 3, unfortunately, but I got back into it in season 4. I get it. I get why people like sports. I do. I've always understood it, but
you just need it presented in the style of a movie to really appreciate it.
No, you know what it is? Yes, that's part of it. But like, doesn't the NFL have like Inside the NFL or some shit like on like one of those?
They have a bunch of documentary style shows. Some where they're just mic'd up. Some where
that's kind of what I mean.
Some where they follow a team throughout a season, stuff like that.
Right. And that's basically what Drive to Survive is, except it hops around, right? Like instead of just like dealing with like the Bengals or something, like it jumps around to the different car companies or the racing companies. And it's interesting, like and it's shot fucking incredibly, right? Like it just really is shot quite beautifully. But this season was so absolutely crazy. Like I'm watching it this week, and I'm just like yelling at the TV, like I was like so drawn into it. And this is last season, like so I purposely like kind of shield myself from any like Formula One news just so I can watch it and like not know what's happening, right? It's really good, man. Like I wasn't into Formula One. I saw the trailer for the first season. I was like, wow, that's done really well. I want to check it out. It's excellent. Like it's excellent because of like the sort of the politics of like intra-team issues, and then like teams versus teams and like racers versus other racers and shit like that. It just makes for like Formula One is a really interesting sport to watch. Like, and that show does a really good job of like, they clearly know that their audience isn't necessarily hardcore Formula One people that are like, or rather people like me, just like kind of getting into it. So they do a good job of explaining like what things mean and not just like assuming that even in season 4. Because there was like a double yellow flag at one point, and they're like, oh, it's a double yellow flag. I'm like, what the fuck is a double yellow flag? Should I Google this? And the guy's like, and then it cuts to this guy and he's like, a double yellow flag, this is what it actually means. I was like, oh, okay. I'm no longer dumb on that. So thank you. But it's really good. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like the thing about that sport that I think is the most interesting is it's simultaneously an individual sport and a team sport, right? Like there are 2 championships, right? Like there's a team championship and an individual championship. And like, so if you're, let's say Mercedes, like, yeah, you have Lewis Hamilton, who's like your top shit guy. And he's like, kind of the best out there. But he also has a teammate who's like always trying to beat him. But then they also do things like they play off each other. Like, hey, I need you to block this other guy so that because, like basically their number one rival is Red Bull. And he's like, look, the guy who's like their top shit dude is the only guy who can beat our top shit dude. But he pitted. So our second dude, I need you to block him long enough so I can stretch the lead so he can't catch me. Right. Like, so then they like play off each other and shit. It's dope. It's like the strategy and shit behind it is really fun to watch. So like, even if you're not into Formula One, like it's very easy to get pulled into it. So
yeah, NASCAR does the same type of thing. I don't need that.
I don't need it.
So you might really enjoy NASCAR.
No, I don't think so. Like, here's the thing. I don't find NASCAR particularly interesting because they drive in a fucking circle, right? It's not that interesting. Formula One is like nuts, dude. Like, it's crazy. One, they're going a hell of a lot faster. Two, like the turns and shit are nuts. Like, yo, how do you even have the like mental like reflex to handle that? I don't even know. Like it's crazy dangerous. But yeah, like, no, I'm not watching NASCAR. I don't, no offense. No offense. I think you all know why I'm not watching it. I don't need to say it. Nah,
you remember when Baltimore had their open wheel racing thing?
Yeah, I went
downtown. And I was working down there when it was going on, because I was working for the city, and the drivers fucking hated it because
it was awful.
We didn't have the manholes glued to the ground. So the force of the cars going over the manholes at that speed will pop the manholes up.
Yep.
And like could kill someone. Like it was fucking wild. It was fucking loud too, man.
Yes,
and
it was.
Did not help, and it did not help the city at all. Like nobody, they did that shit for like 2 or 3 years, and it was just like
I think it was like 2 years. They were like, this is like mad expensive. Like,
right.
You know, like, so I think there's 26 races in a season. Like, America now I think has two. I think we have two races in the U.S. But like you got to kind of build a track for it, like for real. Like it's not.
Man, you can't just
use a shitty Baltimore street and be like, here you go, like
running down Pratt Street.
Nah, yeah, you can't. You can't. It's crazy dangerous. Like it's super dangerous. But like there's some really cool cool courses that they do. Like the Singapore race. Like I don't know if because they don't show every race on the show, but like the Singapore race, I think they showed in like season 2 is at night, and it's like it almost feels like indoors because of how high everything is. Like it's just makes for a very different race. Like it's like cool shit like that. It's interesting, and like all of the personalities of like the coaches or the team principals as it is, and the racers are like they all are unique and interesting all in their own way. So, and I also find it funny, like the Ferrari team has like the most Italian looking guy running it. he just, he looks so fucking Italian. It's hilarious. And the name of their team is like Scuderari Ferrari, like quite literally. Like it's like it even sounds like ridiculously Italian. But they're okay. Like they're not that great. But I think they're like the fifth fastest team. So yeah, look, Formula One, Drive to Survive. Awesome. Can't wait for season 5. Phenomenal. The last 2 episodes, Brad was 100% right. He was like, I can't wait for you to watch these 2. I was fucking livid by the end of it. Absolutely balls to the wall.
Well, yeah, so Brad is into esoteric sports, and
he's very European.
He is. He is. You ever see his last name? It's the most European fucking sounding thing I've ever seen. Like what the fuck?
It sounds like a Formula One car. A lot of people don't know.
But I have it downloaded on my phone, and I'm gonna check it out when I go to work.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised how quickly you get into it. Like it's very well done. I also had a chance to watch a couple of episodes of Abbott Elementary.
My wife, who is in love with that show, said, you guys should talk about Abbott Elementary on your preview episode for Black on Black Cinema. And I'm like, well, what are we going to talk about? Well, that it's just a school in Philadelphia. I was like, all right, leave the programming to the pros, please. She is a huge fan, and she said, when she said, you guys should talk about Abbott Elementary, I said, that nigga ain't gonna watch Abbott Elementary. He don't watch TV. He ain't gonna watch this.
It's on Hulu.
He ain't gonna watch this.
Here's the thing.
It's a sitcom. He ain't gonna watch this.
Here's the thing. It's phenomenal. Like it's super
really
good, dude. It's super good. I really like it. But I like The Office. It's the same premise, right? It's the same premise as Office. Actually, like I watched the first episode. Like it has the camera zoom ins, like that same single camera like shooting style and everything. And I'm like,
documentary style,
right? And I'm just like, but like that very specific style of The Office, right? Yeah, where it's like they're like you look at the camera like, whoop, kind of thing. one of the executive producers was from The Office. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And so, but Quinta, the woman who plays the lead, who got her start kind of like on the internet and like on like BuzzFeed videos, if I recall.
She was also on that show that you didn't think was funny, a Black Lady sketch show.
I don't.
And she left that show to do Abbott Elementary.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't have an argument. I'm just interesting. One show's really good, and the other. But it's really good. It's I'm just being a dick. But good for her is all I can say. Good for her. No, but she created this show. It's great. It's really great. Look, I'm actually kind of upset that I hadn't watched it from the jump, to be honest. I'm finding it very, very funny. I like the guy from Everybody Hates Chris. Like he's very good on it as well. And it's just like a good cast of like kind of characters. If you don't know the premise, again, it's like The Office or Parks and Recreations, but it's about an inner city school in Philadelphia, and they're just like fighting to get funding and all this other stuff, and just like general shit of what it is like to be a teacher in an inner city school. Yeah, no, it super works. And I like that style of quote unquote sitcom. But I like they're taking it in putting it in a different place, right? Like The Office was great. Parks and Recreations was great because they moved it into like shitty local government workers, and now moving it to inner city teachers. It works. It totally works. So I love it. Let's talk about the latest episode of Moon Knight. Did you rewatch the first one? You said you were going to rewatch the first one and then watch the second one.
I didn't rewatch the first one because I got someone installing a bathroom, and it's really difficult to watch this when they're banging and hammering and
sure.
Doing all that shit that manly men do.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, sure. That's what I hear.
So, but I did find time to squeeze in the second episode, and yeah, I like the show, man. I like the show. I don't like the show enough to like go out and buy a Moon Knight toy quite yet, or go out and read some Moon Knight. Like right. I don't like it that much, but I am enjoying it. And I think I'm enjoying it more because I really like Oscar Isaac as an actor. Like I think that dude is phenomenal at acting.
He's putting on a clinic. He's putting on a clinic in this show.
I mean, he feels like it seems like he's just effortlessly having a good time.
Yeah,
and
I would agree.
And it's cool to see. But that's not to say that like the rest of the cast isn't doing their fair share. But I'm really taken by Oscar Isaac and his role. Second episode was dope, man. Look, I like the suits. I really do. I think they look dope, yo.
Yeah, they do.
Both of them. Yeah. Especially for something that's like, it looks all CG. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm digging the show.
Yeah, I like the suit ups. Like they're taking their time and like really showing that off, because it looks crazy cool when he suits up in it. And I liked him falling off the roof and then him like doing the hero landing in the Mr. Knight suit. That was great. That was pretty fun. I'm interested to see where things end up going, right? Like right now, and this is sort of par for the course for the Marvel shows. You get about 2 sort of story establishing episodes, and then by
first act, right? First 2 episodes of the first act, second 2 the next 2 episodes of the second act, the last 2 episodes of the last act. So
right, and so by episode 3, like shit's gonna get moving like pretty like fast and furious. I have to imagine. So I'm looking forward to it.
the first episode established the world. The second episode establishes the MacGuffin, right? And at the end of that episode, the Ethan Hawke's character has the MacGuffin, and the main character now knows what he has to do.
Right.
So the story is going to kick in a little more in episodes 3 and 4, I think. I hope. But I'm enjoying the ride right now. And Khonshu's a dick, yo.
Yeah, he is. He's great. He's great. Smashes windpipe. Like, wow, all right, relax. Dude, take it easy. I did like the idea that Ethan Hawke was his avatar before. Like, that should play to some pretty interesting like back and forth between those two characters. But I dug that. I thought that was cool. Yeah, I'm all in. And again, I agree with you. Like, Oscar Isaac's mere presence in this is just like elevating this higher than it probably would be normally anyway. And that's not to say it's not good, but it, like, he's just so goddamn good.
Yeah, like I said, the story is like, the story's not blowing me away, but I'm still having a good, like, it's still kind of like mindless, but not in a bad way, like not in a Transformers way. Like WandaVision had me like, I was gripped.
Right, you're like riveted to the story.
Yeah. And this one isn't necessarily doing that. Just like Falcon and the Winter Soldier's story wasn't exactly as gripping as WandaVision or as Loki, right? Like, Loki had another riveting story. And this just looks like it's having a good time. And I'm having a good time with it. So if something major happens, like if something major happens in the next episode, then I feel like, we could talk about it. But I mean, I might just wait until the season is over and give like a recap on it.
Yeah, I don't believe you, but go ahead. I don't believe you.
I mean, okay. I mean, all right.
No, I mean, no, because I think something is going to happen that's quite major, and there's just no way you're going to be able to stay away from that. Like, I don't think
that's what I just said. If something major happens, we could talk about it. If it doesn't,
but I think you have to start the second act with something big. I think you're likely right. Like, I think you got to pull people in. And look, I think part of the reason, like, I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. But the one criticism I would level against it is, like, we didn't see Moon Knight until the very end of the first episode, right? And it's like, we get it. We are establishing Steven's whole life and stuff like that. Got it. The second episode, they pushed that up a bit. Like, it took maybe, was it like a 45-minute episode? It took 30 minutes before we saw Moon Knight, more or less. Now that Mark has taken over, my guess is you get Moon Knight pretty early on in the episode, like a lot, and it's going to be like that probably largely through the end of the series. So I think that's part of it, is like, you want to see the fucking hero, like, get him in the suit. Like, that's an issue of like early 90s and early 2000s comic book movies and shows. Like, they would take forever to like finally show the person in the suit or whatever, and you're like, okay, that's, it's like Smallville. They waited like 14 seasons before they put the guy in the suit. Like, you got to get the guy in the suit, because that's what people come to see. So I get it. The first episode was definitely an establishing sort of thing.
I mean, we'll see. I can get by without necessarily seeing the dude in the dude in the suit is the dessert, right? And I don't have a problem eating my vegetables before my dessert.
Sure.
But like the vegetables, the vegetables aren't here yet for me. You know what I mean? Like,
sure,
like
I get that.
the meat of the story isn't there yet. And that's fine, right? Like, that's fine. Like I said, I'm having a good time. But when you asked, did I see Moon Knight? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't watch it.
When you asked, I didn't watch it, because it's not like pulling me like, I gotta get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and watch it before everybody else. Like, no, like
relax.
I watched it. I watched it today because we had to talk about it.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see. It might sound like I'm poo-pooing on it. I'm not. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I'm just not riveted by it yet.
You know what's not on the docket that I'm not riveted by, and it partially is its fault. It's also partially the mechanism by which I'm watching it. Halo. Commercials are horrible. Like, every time I turn on, it's like, let me hit you with 5 commercials. Five on Paramount Plus, 5 commercials. Come on, it's ridiculous.
Go to the bathroom or something. Like
every 20 seconds. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like, I'm about to take my helmet off. Back to you. I'm like, all right. Jesus, come on,
Now to
man.
be fair, I haven't watched. I don't know how many episodes of Halo there are. I've only seen the one. I don't know if there's 2 or 3.
I haven't finished the second one yet. I haven't finished the second one yet.
I enjoyed that first episode, but again, I'm not rushing to see it.
No, it's not appointment television. That's why we're not talking about it.
It's not appointment television for me.
No,
it's not appointment television for me. But I'll get around to it. But like, it's probably going to be one of those things where it's like, I'm at work and I'm not, and I'll just have this on while I'm working. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's pretty much, that's how I watch it, is I literally am at home and it's just on. And I'm like, oh, fucking commercial again? Like, all right. Like, come on. The second episode does have Bokeem Woodbine in it, so that's kind of cool. If that gives you any incentive to watch it. So let's talk.
Woodbine every fucking week. I don't need to see him again on Halo.
Go fuck yourself. So he would be my choice to play me. That's true. If we were making a TMP Studios movie, that's my number one choice to play me is Bokeem Woodbine. That guy's awesome. So let's talk about Rothaniel. This is the Gerard Carmichael new stand-up. We don't normally talk about stand-up specials, but I think we would be remiss in not talking about this one because it was a big deal. It was a big deal. I think we're both Gerard Carmichael fans before this. I certainly was, and it's nice to see him back because I hadn't seen him in a long time. Not since the Carmichael show got canceled, I guess. This comedy special is on HBO Max if you haven't watched it. It's basically, it's less of a comedy special, I would argue, and more of a storytelling like event. And it's basically about him coming out as gay and like the sort of backlash from his family and like the acceptance from his friends and that sort of thing, with some comedy sort of sprinkled into it. What did you think? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Yeah, it's if you think stand up is just like getting up there and telling jokes, that's not what this is. No. It's more of a TED Talk, and it's a very intimate setting. And I think Gerard Carmichael is very funny. I think he has a very unique sense of humor. Yeah. That I only see from dudes that are built like him, right? Like dudes, like it's always like the small, skinny dudes who have just like the biggest balls and just don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't give a fuck about a lot. He will say some wild shit. He will.
I used to work with a guy who was like 5'2", 90 pounds, and didn't give a fuck, yo. Like he would say anything to anyone while we were working at a GameStop, and he would just say anything to anyone, including the customers. Because like, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
My life already sucks.
He would call people's bluff, yo. Like he wouldn't give a fuck, and I respect that shit. And Gerard Carmichael has that I don't give a fuck attitude. Like I'll just say whatever. Not like in some like weird like I don't give a fuck, yo. I'll say what I want, right? Like
yeah, that's ego. That's actually not
right.
bravery.
Right. he don't have that. You know what I mean? So the special is actually a very, very good special. And it feels a little like a therapy session with some comedy thrown in, but it's interesting. He tells interesting stories. I kind of wish that he didn't title it what he titled it. Because that's a big, but
it's the joke. It's the big
it's the joke. It's the joke. But that's a wild. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't blame him for doing what he did about that. It's just funny.
But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot, and like you get like feedback from the audience, like that's how intimate this setting was. Like people
I thought it was shot. I thought it was shot beautifully, by the way, in reference to that.
Yeah, man. Like it had a very classic look to it. Even and a classic sound to it. You know what I mean? Like they with the piano and stuff playing in the back. It was very classy. It felt very classy. I love stand up, man. I love stand up. I love comedians. And this is something different, something that people might not be used to seeing. So, especially now, if like you had the revelation within the past week or so that you never liked a certain stand up, one of
the most famous black comedians of all time. Okay.
Yeah. If you had that revelation over the past week that you ain't never like him anyway, this actually might be up your alley. I think it's really, really good. I think it's really, really good.
I don't know about that. No, not that I don't think that it's very good. I don't think those people like stand up. That would be my argument. I don't think they do. Because, making fun of people is kind of what stand-up is. By the way, don't go listen to anything Gerard Carmichael has done before this. You won't like that either. Because he's hilarious. But it's I think it's really interesting. It comes at a very interesting time where obviously stand-up comedy and what you can and cannot say is of big debate, right? Like, and here comes this guy talking about like literally putting his entire family business in the street and telling you what he thinks about what it's like coming out as a gay black man at 35, right? Like, it's interesting. Like, it's an interesting time. Like, not that he timed it, right? Like, he didn't know about the fucking slap or whatever, but it's just interesting that it came out at that exact moment. And it comes out in a very interesting way. But yeah, I liked it, man. I like Carmichael a lot. And again, I think he's very smart. But I agree with you. I don't want people to go in and be like thinking this is like laugh out loud funny. Like, there's some really funny things that get said in this special, but it's more of a guy going through it. And they do he does such a good job of pulling you into his experience, which I think that's the key to a great comedian, because a great comedian is a great storyteller, right? And he does such a good job of pulling you in to what he's going through that, like, quite literally, like you said, like the audience is directly talking to him during this, like, well, why don't you do X? And he responds. Like, they're not heckling him. They're like legitimately asking him questions and making points and like pushing back a little bit on some things that he says, right? And forcing him to kind of like think about it and stuff like that. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. I think he's got a huge career in front of him. I mean, I think he already does quite well, but I think he's got a huge career in front of him over this. So, yeah, I thought it was dope. His joke about his dad, though, is like his dad who cheated on his mom, like you came out gay, you fucked up. I cheated on your mom, I fucked up. Like, nigga, that's not the same thing. Like don't do that. You fucked up, I fucked up. No, but he's good, man. He's good. And he says the F word, but he's allowed. So there you go. So get over it. He's allowed to say it. So yeah, check out Rothaniel, man. I think it's dope. All right, topics this week.
So it's been revealed that the 25 Central James Bond movies will be coming to Prime Video for a limited time on April 15th. So that's the main, Bond movies, not things like the other Casino Royale, which I think starred Woody Allen. And
wait, is that a James Bond movie?
Yes. It's weird. Like the
is he James Bond?
I hold on. Now I gotta.
No.
Maybe it's not Woody Allen. Brad is gonna. No, he's Jimmy Bond. He's I think he's James Bond. Look, I've never seen this Casino Royale. I've never seen it, but I know Woody Allen.
He's Jimmy Bond. You're 100% right. What the fuck is this?
Movie. So I don't know. I think
okay.
Brad has seen it.
So it says the film stars David Nevin as the original Bond, Sir James Bond 007, forced out of retirement to investigate the death and disappearance of international spies. He soon battles blah blah blah, and I guess Jimmy Bond is like, I don't know, it's like his weird nephew. Like
his nephew.
Oh shit, he is Bond. Like he quite literally is Bond's nephew. Yeah.
So I've never seen that movie. I have seen Never Say Never Again. Never say never again. Never say never again. Like that's the song.
All right, that's bad. That's bad.
And it's not good. It's not good. That actually starred James Bond. That actually starred Sean Connery.
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to do either of these movies on No Time on the Man with the Golden Tongue.
You should do this Casino Royale one though. You kind of
nope.
Yo,
we'll put it on the back burner.
It's got Peter Sellers in it, man. Come on.
That's okay. So from Dr. No to No Time to Die, all of the James Bond movies are coming to Amazon Prime. But this whole for a limited time thing is weird.
Why?
I feel like these movies have been around long enough.
Just put them on there. Like, why are we taking them off?
On there. Right.
You own them now. There. You own them now.
Right. Just leave them on there.
Now, I do like the fact that No Time to Die is going to be on there.
Yeah, you can finally watch it.
I got to watch Spectre first.
You should, and actually, you should watch Spectre, and then the next day watch No Time to Die, so that Spectre is still fresh in your mind.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not like the worst. It's just not. It suffered from the whole cinematic universe crap, right? Like. Yeah. Like they tried to back end into this whole cinematic universe stuff, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, don't do that
with the rest of the.
And films, I love Skyfall. I mean, obviously, of the Daniel Craig movies, for me, it goes Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Silas. That movie fucking sucked. No, that's my favorite. Quantum of Solace. Skyfall. Casino Royale way down. Then I have to see the other ones. That's how everyone else scores them, right? Boy was Quantum of Solace a letdown after Casino Royale, but that was a writer's strike. I mean, I get it. But that was a bad movie. But yeah, look, I look forward to seeing No Time to Die. I've heard good things, not great, but good things, very good things.
I think your mileage may vary depending on how well you like Spectre.
All right, that's fair. I feel like you and Brad have both said that like No Time to Die feels like two separate movies.
You're gonna love the first part of it, and then the second part. That's where your mileage may vary thing comes in, because you got to buy certain relationships that James Bond establishes in Spectre. And if you don't buy it, like the second half of that movie, the second half of No Time to Die is just like, nah, yo, like, he wouldn't do this. Like, get out of here.
All right.
So, But yeah, man, I don't want them to like. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I own all of these, but I don't want them to like Disney vault it, right? Like,
Just put them.
we're gonna bring it out and then we're gonna throw it back in the vault. Like, nah.
Why? I don't think I've ever seen, and you're gonna probably get upset with me. I don't think I've ever seen Thunderball.
I really like Thunderball. I think I like Thunderball more than of which other ones have you not seen on this list?
A lot of them. I've never seen For Your Eyes Only, which just makes me think of Arrested Development for British eyes only. I don't think I've seen From Russia with Love, which everyone says is the best.
Yo, For Russia with Love might be, if it's not the best, it's number 2.
What's number 1 for you?
I mean, look, yo, like Casino Royale is really good, man.
Wow,
really
the Woody Allen one? That's crazy. That's wild. It's a wild answer. Wow, really? You're putting that up as the best for you?
It's 1 and A, man. Like it's really good, man. And From Russia with Love is really good. Like both of them are really good, man.
Yeah.
It's a toss up.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I definitely haven't seen Thunderball. But I hear Thunderball's very good. It's like really fun.
I fucking love Tom Jones singing Thunderball. Like I fucking love
That's a good song. That's a good song though.
I'll sing that shit in the shower and people my wife be like, "What is your problem, yo?
Get out of
What are
here.
you talking about your balls for?"
Yeah. Don't you want to see my Thunderball? Like relax. No. Go to a doctor. Yeah, I think I've seen. Actually, maybe I've seen more of these than I realized. I don't think I've seen The Living Daylights either. I've definitely seen The License to Kill. That was the first. License to Kill was the first James Bond movie I ever saw.
Yeah, License to Kill was wild, yo. Like Timothy Dalton was just like,
yo, he's a murderer. Yo. He's just a murderer.
He was just like, fuck this.
He was like, I have a license to kill, and I'm gonna use that shit before they take it. You're like, killing way too many people.
You killed my friend with a shark, yo. Like, nah, yo, you got to fucking die.
Yeah, License to Kill is nuts. And of course, I've seen GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day. I've seen all of those. I wish I hadn't, but I've seen all of them.
Of the Brosnans, what's your favorite? Of the Brosnans,
that was GoldenEye. Get the fuck out of here.
Which is okay? Rank them. That's what I'm.
All right. Okay. Fuck. I'll go bottom. I'll go bottom. No, I'll go bottom to top. Die Another Day is the worst. It's the worst. It has a terrible song. An Asian guy turns white. Like, all right, like, come on, yeah. Like that shit is offensive. I guess from bottom to top, it's GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies. Yeah. I go in this order.
It's release order.
It's this release order, right? Yeah, it's release order. Yeah, because The World Is Not Enough is not good either. Like that's not. But Tomorrow Never Dies. Wasn't that like him fighting Rupert Murdoch?
Essentially,
it was so stupid. Yo.
It was him and Michelle Yeoh fighting fucking Rupert Murdoch because he wanted to start World War III for ratings.
Yeah, so he could
sell a lot of newspapers.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the dumbest plots of all time. Yeah, I'm like, I remember because I saw that in theaters. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Newspapers? All right. Because The World Is Not Enough. That's the one with Christmas Jones, right? I thought Christmas only came once a year. All right, yeah, shut up.
Jesus Christ.
Denise Richards as a doctor. No. She looked very nice, but like relax.
Not even like a regular doctor. She was like a specialist in
nuclear physicist or
engineering.
Right?
Shit. What the fuck?
Right.
Fuck out of here.
All right. Like you gotta relax. All right, let's move on. That's funny. It's definitely release order. Yeah, that's bad.
Next up, a Sherlock Holmes TV universe is coming.
I don't understand.
Robert Downey. Robert Downey Jr. and Lionel Ringham will return. Wigram will re-team to executive produce the franchise. That's a wild name, man. That's a wild name. Like, you know how last names used to be professions? Like if your last name is Smith, your ancestors were probably a blacksmith.
Right.
If your last name is Carpenter, you did woodworking. What the fuck is a Wigram?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
Christ. God damn. They are teaming up and they have 2 shows in development for HBO Max. Robert Downey Jr., who played the detective in the 2009 Guy Ritchie film and its 2011 sequel, is on board to executive produce both shows under the Team Downey banner because they can't think of a better production company name than Team My Last Name.
Right. Weird.
Lionel Wigram, who received a story credit for the first film and produced both, is also on board. And a 3rd movie in the franchise was in development, but never moved beyond the development stage. There is no word if Robert Downey Jr. will reprise his role. Confession time. I don't hate those movies.
Yo, who hates those movies? Those movies are fun. They're fun. I think they're kind of dumb, Americanized Sherlock Holmes movies. But that's why I think people don't like them. I don't know if people like them or not, but that's why I think people don't like them is because they're not smart, right? Like, no, they're not the smartest.
No, they're really dumb.
I mean, I like,
especially when compared to like Benedict Cumberbatch's
like Sherlock's TV show, which is incredibly smart.
Right, but
I like them.
Yeah, I like them. Whatever. Like I'm fine with it.
And you know what? Actually, Sherlock, the original Sherlock got a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh wait, no, is that the TV show? No, this is maybe this is the TV show. Oh, that's the TV show. Never mind.
Yeah, it's called Sherlock Holmes, and like Sherlock Holmes' Book of Secrets or some shit.
The Game of Shadows.
I mean, what's the difference?
That's a stupid name. That's a really stupid name. Hounds of Baskerville. I always found myself too stupid to read those books. Like, quite literally. I was just like, I don't think I'm smart enough. No. The second movie people didn't apparently care for. Like, they didn't really like that one.
Yeah, the second movie was way worse than the first movie.
It was. It was. But I like those movies, man. Like, they're a fun time. Like, my wife took me to see, she like planned a day for me. Like, this wasn't my birthday. It was just like a random day. You can definitely tell it was like when we didn't have kids. She was like, I know you love movies, so we're going to go see 2 movies. And I was like, all right, that sounds awesome. And like
2 movies Jesus
in a day,
Christ.
Right? Like crazy in the theater. Can you imagine having that kind of time? Can you imagine? My kid's got to like leave town for that. And so she was like, she took me to see Sherlock Holmes 2. And we saw that, and I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty fun. And she was like, all right, we're going to another movie. Like, I was like, oh, okay. And then we turned around, and we like, this could not be more of like the dichotomy that exists in my mind for movies, like the type of films I like. She's like, let's go see Sherlock 2. And I was like, all right, that's cool. I like the first one. And then she was like, I got a surprise. The second movie is the Michael Fassbender movie where he was a nymphomaniac, which is like the most like, that movie is fucked up in a way that you cannot possibly believe. That's Shame.
The one with
Shame.
The perfection meme. Is that it? The perfection meme? Like
no, that's from X-Men.
Real you.
No, that's from X-Men.
Is it?
Yeah, that's from X-Men. Yeah, that's from X-Men.
Yo, those X-Men movies just do not register for me at all.
Yeah, that's an X-Men movie. No, the one where he was a nymphomaniac is a movie called Shame, which is a phenomenal film, by the way. You should see it. But it was like Sherlock Holmes into like nymphomania. Like, these are very different movies. Like, very different. But yeah, Game of Shadows, not the greatest. But I also like Jude Law in those movies too, as Watson. I think he's pretty good. So, all right, that's cool. I hope that I'd like to see him come back and play the character again. I feel like he's pretty good at it. At the same time, he's got that new series. He's got a movie and then a series coming out on Amazon, where he's like a magician con man or whatever. It's based on another like massively popular book series. So I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. is about to like be back in our faces again, which is dope. It's always cool to see him doing well. So
yeah,
I like
it. This is one of those things where it's like, hey, this guy fucked up earlier in his career and was allowed to come back. And I think we need to afford that for people who make mistakes.
Okay. Micah supports people jerking off in front of women. I'm just saying.
Well, I wasn't thinking about him, but
everybody else listening was. He won a Grammy.
Who hasn't done that, right? Am I right?
Only when you get permission. Only when you get permission.
There you go.
You want to see it?
There you go.
No? Okay, cool. That makes sense. All right. My bad. I think I won a Grammy, man.
The best TV show that I don't think enough people are talking about is getting renewed for a second season at Apple TV Plus, and it's called Severance. And this is very good news. And it's taken all of my power to not just be like, I'm sick, I can't record the podcast today. Because Severance is out. The last episode of this season is out right now.
What?
And it always comes out Thursday night.
Fucking get out of here, dude. I might stay up. I might stay up tonight and watch it.
If I could, I would, man. But,
I gotta see. Here's the thing. I gotta go into work tomorrow, but I gotta leave at noon, and I gotta work at home the rest of the day. So. Like, am I okay to wait the few hours to come back and watch Severance while I'm working? We'll see. We'll see. I might watch it tonight, dude. I might watch it tonight. I'm super excited.
So I'm especially after the episode, the penultimate episode. I don't know how many episodes there are off the top of my head, but the penultimate episode ended in such a way that I mean, it just that like you want to talk about blue balls, like that's it, yo. Like
him just like reaching and turning the switch, and it's like, see you next week. I'm like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You're killing me. Jeez.
So yeah, man, I can't wait to talk about we're going to talk about this next week, folks. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
There's your homework. Your homework is to go watch Severance on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, you got 8 hours worth of homework. Get it done. So here's my. This is an amazing show. Here's my question: when is the last time you've been this riveted to a show? When's the last time? Like story wise, not action wise. Story wise.
I think the closest would be WandaVision, but that I don't want to give that because that makes it feel like I'm putting these two stories on the same level, and I'm not.
Right. I'm just talking about into the story. I'm not talking about quality of the story. I'm just talking in.
I don't know. I can't remember. I because we watch a lot of, especially with my wife, I'm the movie person, she's the TV person, right. So we'll just watch any old bullshit. But I'm so inundated with a lot of crap that I don't.
It's hard to remember.
That I can't remember. It's hard to remember like real quality, man. Which is another reason why I'm really taken with Severance. But it would have to be like a mystery of some sort,
right?
Like what was that one mystery that that everybody was telling us that everyone was saying to watch? I don't think you watched it, but the ending was fucking wild, dude. It was like Through Her Eyes or some shit like that.
Is that the one where it was like the black woman and the white couple or some shit on Netflix?
Yeah. And I was taken with it. It was really good in the beginning. It got kind of slow, And then it just went off the fucking rails.
That's what everyone says.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But yeah, Severance is amazing.
For me, you know what it is? This is Mayor of Easttown for me. Like, I'm in it, dude. I'm like super riveted to like every episode. What is going to happen? Like, I feel like my wife will be 3 episodes behind. I have no problem in rewatching these last 3 episodes. Like, none. Zero issues in watching them. I feel like I'll probably rewatch this season again before the second season comes out. Which I think they're in the middle of taping or something like that. So, or they're about to tape or something like that I saw. So, but yeah, I'm in, man. Like, I think this show is brilliant. And look, you know, quiet as it's kept, I think Apple TV is coming, man. Like, they got some super dope shit on right now, which is really kind of fun to watch, you know? Where they had a bit of a slow start, but I think that they've kind of gotten over that, and they're now sort of making stuff that's really quite compelling. And that's very dope to me. Like I like they've got that other show like Slow Horses or something that I think it's like a spy show with Gary Oldman, which I'm going to try to check out maybe next week. That looks really interesting. But yeah, I think they're nailing it. I didn't mention in checked out. I watched Coda as well on Apple TV. Phenomenal. I thought it was phenomenal. It deserved everything it got. Like, it was great. Exhausting because obviously I'm not a deaf person, so how could I possibly connect with it? But it was
relate at all.
At all. And look, I'll tell you, that scene where his daughter was singing to him, and he's just like, as the dad, like just trying to understand what she was singing. It's one of the most beautiful fucking scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Hands down. Like, just phenomenally recorded. Like, I was incredibly impressed. Like, him just holding her so he could just feel the rhythm coming from her. Like, that was awesome. I was like, Jesus, that guy definitely deserves that Oscar. Like, I thought he was great. That was just really, really good.
Yes, Coda, when I saw it, I was, of the movies that were nominated, Coda was the last on my list that I wanted to see, because I'm like, I hadn't heard anything about it, and it was on Apple. It was on a streamer, right? And there's a stigma like, oh, this can't be that good. It's on a streamer for free, essentially, right?
They're giving it away.
And I was blown away by it. I don't know if it's because my expectations were low. I don't know if it's because the movie itself is that good, but I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I'm telling you, that scene won. I have to imagine that scene won over so many critics, right? Because the rest of the movie is like, oh, this is an interesting perspective or whatever. That particular scene, you're just like, holy shit. Like, because Oscar winners, the way, or like best pictures, the way they win is show me something that I've never seen. You've never seen that. You just never saw that. And like, you've never seen, like, to see, for people who don't know, it's, CODA means, it stands for Children of Deaf Adults. So it's like, one girl she can hear totally fine, and her brother, her mom, and her dad are all deaf. The thing is, like, that scene of them going to see her recital, or, at school, they can't hear anything. Like, they're not partially deaf. They can't hear anything. And here she is singing, and that's her passion. And they can't appreciate the music because they can't fucking hear it. But then the dad just starts looking around and seeing how her singing is affecting other people. It's fucking beautiful. I'm just like, fucking tears, man. Like, it was just really quite beautiful. That movie drew a lot of emotion out of me personally. I just thought it was wonderfully done. So, yeah, shout out to everybody involved in that movie. I thought it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And it deserved everything it got. Well, we're here now, Micah. Let's fucking do it. So it appears that Twitter is not real life, which is weird. Because I was told that it is. Will Smith's Bad Boys 4 and Fast and Loose, which is another movie he's doing, reportedly held up after his slapping of Chris Rock at the Oscars. According to the Hollywood Reporter, at least 2 of Smith's films that I just named, which were in active development, where Smith had 40 pages in hand of Bad Boys 4, have been put on pause. The reason why I mentioned that Twitter is not real life is that if you go on Twitter, Will Smith won the day. If you leave Twitter and come into reality and get off your computers, you realize that this has been a net negative for Will Smith and largely a net positive for Chris Rock.
I agree. My wife, for our anniversary in October, wanted to get us Chris Rock tickets. And we couldn't. And after this happened, in the DC area, they added a third day because the demand was so high. Like they added a third day and we were able to get tickets.
Yeah.
And Will Smith is having projects being put on hold, if not outright canceled. Let's hope they're not canceled. Like, because quite honestly, like, I don't think there will be. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I wanted Will Smith to get this award so that he can hurry up and start making more movies like this. Right? Like,
let's get back to the fun.
Yeah, let's go. Woohoo! Haha! Like, let's get back to that Will Smith, right? Like, that's how you drive, right? Like,
that's who everybody loves, man. That's who everybody loves.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah. I firmly believe that people should be able to fuck up and come back. At least once. At least once. If you're a habitual line stepper, then
that's different.
You know, that's different. But like, if this is something totally out of character for somebody, which is what this was, he should be allowed to come back. If Mel Gibson's producing a movie with Mark Wahlberg about a badass like father in the religious sense, like a badass clergyman.
Oh,
you know
Father Stew, is that what that one is?
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm not watching that. I'm not watching
that shit.
And not because I knew Mel Gibson was involved. It just looked dumb. It just looked dumb. I was like, I'm good.
But like, that dude has been able to come back and he has said some fucking heinous shit. And just because he didn't say it on a fucking award stage doesn't mean that what he said wasn't the most repugnant shit ever to come out of somebody's fucking mouth.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't argue that Mel Gibson necessarily has been able to come all the way back. Like, but he's still doing movies. He is. He's
still working, yo. Like, he's still working.
He is.
Like, get the fuck out of
here. But
he's
still, like, but Mel Gibson,
Woody Allen is still making movies.
That is a different, that I think is a better example. Because, like, Mel Gibson still fucked up so bad that, like, Robert Downey Jr. tried to bring him back, and they were like, yo, Robert, hey, we love you, Iron Man. Knock it the fuck off. And he was like, you got it. All right. Thought I'd push a little bit. Like, no, it ain't gonna work. All right. Like, I'm not gonna try to fuck my money up, Mel. Like, not gonna do that. But like Robert Downey Jr. was able to come back, right? Like, that dude used to get arrested. It used to be like every night on, whatever Access Hollywood, like Robert Downey Jr. is arrested again for drugs or alcohol. Like, he was getting arrested all the time and he was able to come back. So it is possible, depending on what you've done, right? In the eyes of some people. Look, I think Will Smith will come back, but I think he's too hot right now. He's just too hot. You got to give Will Smith a 6 months, 1 year, cooling off period, and then I think he can come back.
I think a lot of this, like you said, is performative, right? Like
100%.
Well, we're gonna put it on hold, but like, he's still Will Smith, yo. Like, he puts
butts in the seats.
Yeah, man, and it just, I don't see this. I don't see this lasting long, and I really hope it doesn't. But like, at the same time, I don't know, man. I get it, but like, I don't. Like,
I mean, look, here's the thing. If you think that if you are a movie studio and you think that if you put this stuff out, a lot of people aren't going to go see it because they're still upset with Will Smith, then you're going to possibly lose money. They're not trying to do that. But if you wait 6 months, the American public has the memory of a goldfish. They do.
But here's the thing, right? Like you can still create this movie and just not
and just hold
it. Yeah, just hold it. But I guess if you got other movies down the pipe, then well, let's just put these out first. Let's get these made because time is of the essence or whatever. So all right, I see it from that perspective also, but
yeah, but again, like, allow me to wade into the water of controversy. People who were okay with Chris Rock getting smacked for saying something wild that they didn't agree with shouldn't be upset by this. If you're okay with people paying consequences for their actions, how mad are you about this really? Like, you don't look, you can smack a waiter across the face if they say something to your wife at a restaurant. You might get arrested, but you can do it. You're allowed to do it. Like fuck around and find out. But fuck around and find out is not like linear. Like it's not in one direction is what I should say. Like it's just not. So he did what he did. If you're okay with what he did, and it's like, well, Chris Rock said this, some talk shit, get hit. Well, do shit at work, and people are like, yo, you might get fired over that, or you might get your shit held up. You might not get that promotion that you wanted. Like that's just the reality of things.
I know that this comedian is persona non grata. I know nobody ever liked Dave Chappelle, but when everyone did like Dave Chappelle,
right.
he had a sketch on his show called "When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong."
Mm-hmm. I thought about that this week, actually. Go ahead.
And this is exactly what happened. Like, I get it. I do. I get it. But like, what I don't get is why you don't get it. Like, I can see it from the pro slap people's perspective. I can. But the pro slap people feels like they've dug in their heels. And they can't see it from another perspective. I guess it's because it's not their money getting affected. I guess it's because it's not, it's not. And then if you're so concerned about their marriage, like how is his money gonna affect their marriage? Like, how is this going to affect their marriage?
Right. Like, let's say, like, if he got, and he's not going to, right? He's just too much of a cash cow. But like,
too big of a dude.
Right. He's too big. But like, what if he got blackballed? Would that have been worth it to me? Like, or would it be worth it to people? I don't think it would be worth it. I just don't think it's worth it. Like if he had lost his entire career, like if he's not Will Smith, but he's some upcoming black actor that you like.
If he's Jabari Banks who plays Will in Bel Air,
it's over for you. It's over for you. Yo, if he's Yahya Abdul Mateen II, not the first, he's done. Right? Like that guy's on the rise, but he's not big enough that he could sustain that.
Yeah, he don't have fuck you money. Like that was Will Smith saying, like, I got fuck you money. Right. That was
fuck you popularity too. Fuck you popularity. Yeah. Like I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. But he's lucky that that's where he is. But would you be cool with it, like to just have some black actor like destroy their career? I wouldn't. Over some words? No. This seems silly to me. But, Will Smith also resigned from the Academy. And people are like, well, he shouldn't have had to do that. Again, you cannot advocate for fuck around and find out, talk shit, get hit type of shit, and then expect nothing to happen to him.
I think it was a savvy move on his part, right? You don't want to drag that shit out, right?
Just be done with it.
Yeah, you don't want those people to judge you and to allow you, like, nah, all right, like this is what's best for everybody. right? And I like to think that was his decision. You know, just being out of the academy means that like you don't get screeners, yo. Like it ain't that big a deal,
and you don't
like,
get the vote. And you don't get the vote.
Yeah, you don't get the vote. You can still be nominated.
You can still win an Oscar. Like it just,
you can still win an Oscar.
But by the way, good luck with that ever happening again. They will never let you win another one. They will never let you win one. Doesn't matter how good you are, yo. They will never let you win one. They won't. They won't. And look, let's get real. Like, why would they? Why would they? The guy who came up there, I mean, look, you helped the ratings jump 53%. That was great. But that's not that you embarrassed them.
I think the big question is, do you think so? It's tradition that previous winners introduce the winners for the next year. Do you think he would? You think they're gonna let him come back?
Nope.
To do that?
Nope. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think they would. I think they would. It's a whole nother year. I think they would, and I think they would try their best to like joke about it. You know what I mean?
It's been a long time since I was here. Oh shit!
You know what they would try to do? You know what they would try to do? They would bring him and Chris Rock out to do it. Yeah.
If they did that, here's my thing. Here's my thing. They have reconciled. Allegedly, right? This is what we know in the press. Why are y'all still mad? These two 50-plus-year-old dudes have reconciled. Why are you still mad? Ain't got nothing to do with you. Why are you still mad? This is weird. Well, he's made his whole career off of making fun of black women. His whole career? Have you ever listened to a Chris Rock stand-up? His whole career? All right. I feel like you don't really listen to stand-up. You just pick two jokes that you didn't like. But all right. Okay. It's cool. I'm going to still watch Chris Rock specials. You know, you're not going to convince me not to. So I don't give a fuck. Like, it just seems silly to me.
I mean, she already bought the tickets.
No, you see, you on that Chappelle shit. Like, it's not like people like trying to put parallels between him and what Chappelle did. Like, they're not the same, yo. They're not the same. They're just not the same. They're not the same. So, like, nah, I'm good. Like, you mad at Chris Rock, that's cool. That's you. I'm not. Like, I'm just not. The guy didn't know she had alopecia, dude. Like, he didn't. He made a joke. Turns out, shouldn't have made the joke. Again, if Will Smith decided he wanted to do what he did, I don't condone it or condemn it. But I'm not going to suddenly stop listening to Chris Rock. Like, I'm just not. You know, like, you guys are miserable. Like you are. As a smarter person than me once said, you guys are professionally mad. And I just don't understand it. Like, it's just a waste of your time. Grow up. So, or as people say on the internet, my favorite new saying, go touch grass. It's awesome.
That's a wild turn of phrase.
Yeah, it's so good. It's such a great term, yo. It's such a great term. Go touch grass. Like, it's so dismissive of people, which I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of like dismissing people's bullshit. Like, that's what I like about it. Next up, boy, oh boy, are things not going well over at Warner Brothers. Ezra Miller arrest prompts emergency Warner Brothers meeting about the star's future. Look, we talked about this last week. And I think we, just as a side note, I think we largely mentioned him, or used the pronoun him, which is apparently not correct. He goes by they, them. So I apologize that I didn't mean to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just want to point that out. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him. Excuse me, them. Look, I need Ezra Miller to get help, but I also need WB to just cut bait and be done. Just be done. Your Batman don't want to be Batman anymore. You got rid of your Superman. Your Wonder Woman can't act. Aquaman is the only one holding the whole shit together. The Flash is fighting niggas. Like, Cyborg, you're just fired. Like, your whole Justice League is done. It's done.
When are we starting over? Are we starting over with the JSA? Like just like let's just make them the JSA, the new thing, right? Like is it gonna be one of those things where like Marvel didn't have the rights to Fantastic Four, so in the comics they just kind of just ostracized the Fantastic Four
for a while?
and
Yeah.
right, like is that maybe that's what WB needs to do, right? Like maybe that's what WB and DC needs to do. They're like, look, we got ourselves Dr. Fate, we got ourselves an Egyptian Samoan Superman. We got a Hawkman. Like we can let's just make this our team, right? Do they do that?
I don't know what they're going to do. Look, apparently Grant Gustin is trending on Twitter today because people are like, just replace Ezra Miller with Grant Gustin. Like they've just like whatever, just anything else. This is stupid. Look, Ezra Miller slammed a woman like a year or two ago. That was a thing, and they didn't really do anything then. And now he's threatening people. I don't care that he yelled obscenities at a bar. I don't give a shit about that. But threatening to like kills people and all this other stuff. I'll bury you and all this other crazy shit. I think it's time to part ways with them. I really do. I think this is only going to get worse. I do agree with your point last week, which is get them some help, but part ways. I think we're done. After the Flash movie, bring in another actor, like do Wally West or recast Barry. Move on.
Yeah, I mean, with the rumor that the whole story is about, different versions of the Flash, just bring in another version of the Flash and just kind of be done with it.
And just, pocket universe everything else.
Yeah. If that's what you want to do, right? Like if you want to have a continuous like continuity. I mean, they keep saying that they don't, right? Like they keep going with this idea that like, well, all of our movies are, take place in different universes, and that because it gives like creators freedom and stuff. And I get it. I get what you're saying. I mean, I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, right?
Right.
Like, but I don't think you believe that. Like, I think you would love, because your animation division did a whole run of cartoon movies that took place in the same universe that were loosely connected in the beginning, and then they were like, oh shit, like let's just kind of say that these all are together. So
like, and you can do it. Like you can do it. The thing is, and it's not a big secret as to how Marvel does it. They take their time and they don't let a person who doesn't give a fuck about the properties head the shit. You have to have somebody who actually understands the properties and actually really likes them. That has to be the person who is doing it. Not trying to make an alt version of them, not focusing on a storyline that is based in an Elseworld story, like standard Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman universe. Just establish that. You can do the Crisis on Infinite Earths. You can do all of that stuff down the road. That's what Marvel is doing, right? Like that's what all of this is leading to, right? Secret Wars, which is their Crisis, basically. That's what it's all leading to. But they established all of that other stuff with 22 other movies first. So just nail that first, then go have fun with the craziness. Look, I've been reading a lot of people's thoughts on this. I don't know, man. I feel like you just like, you got to figure out a way to like, see if you can tie that shit to the Batman. like that is starting off really well. Like, don't mean you got to tie it right now, but like figure out a way to like, you got the multiverse, whatever. Figure out a way to see if you can tie it together. Like, because that is actually running really solid. It's got really, really good reviews. I don't know, man. Like, just like Robert Pattinson's seriousness working against Jason Momoa's kind of goofy frat boy shit probably could work. It probably could work.
I don't know, man. I mean, I get like Batman is, I get like that's the dichotomy, right? But
maybe I don't know. There's got to be somebody better than me who could come up with a way to link it, right? You could do it. Because, like, if you look at the early Marvel movies, yes, they all, like, aesthetically feel similar. But, like, I remember seeing Thor, and I'm like, are you going to tie this to Iron Man? Like, this is wild, dude. This is a wild leap. But they did it. Like, you can bridge the gap. But you have to have people who actually understand the lore and why it makes sense. And they haven't had that yet. And also, like, I'll be a bit of an asshole. You should... I mean, why are you doing all this recasting? I don't know. Maybe we could just like recast Gal Gadot.
Jay, what are you talking about?
Yo, she can't act. She can't. I get it.
It just doesn't, it just is. She has a very unique style. I saw Death on the Nile.
I heard she was horrible in it. I heard she was.
Fine. She's fine. She's fine. I mean, it just, she has a style.
Kal-El.
Kal-El, remember who you are. Like, all right.
An interesting style, much like an interesting face. Not as interesting as you think.
Like she dies very early in that movie.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I wonder why. Kenneth Branagh was like,
in Red Notice, she was all right, right?
Yo, she didn't say a lot, yo. You being like you giving this woman a lot of credit, yo. She didn't say a lot in that movie, yo. She didn't say a lot in that movie.
That's probably why she was all right in that movie.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason. She was married to The Rock. Surprise.
Spoiler alert.
That movie was not good. So yeah, Ezra Miller. Look, I think you toss him after, or excuse me, I think you toss them after The Flash. Be done with it. Like the Snyderverse is a mess in a bunch of ways. Not just on screen. Apparently, it's a mess even off screen. Like it is just a mess. Quite literally, the only person who is worth keeping around is Jason Momoa, in my opinion. I would not have cast. I would not. Who else? Of the heroes. Who else?
I'm trying to imagine.
Henry Cavill is out. Like I liked Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm just saying they booted him out. Like I wouldn't be mad if he came back. Who else?
Yeah. I mean, look, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, if given the right material, I think could really, really pull off a better Wonder Woman performance than she did in 1984.
Oof. I hope so. Good God.
Like, I didn't think she was bad in Wonder Woman in the original.
She wasn't. She wasn't bad, but she's not a very good actress. Like, she's not.
I mean, but like none of these people really are. Jason Momoa is not a really good actor.
That's fair. He's got more charisma though. Those Aquaman movies are working on his charisma alone.
Yeah. But like Henry Cavill is like he's a pretty man. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
He's fine.
He's fine. And that's what I think. I think every one of those actors is fine in those roles, but I've seen them in better roles with better material. So I think the biggest thing is the material. Like you can, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm talking out of my ass. It's 11:42.
Reboot it.
Yeah, reboot it. Okay.
It's rebooted.
Okay.
All right.
They rebooted Spider-Man like 3 times and 2 or 3 times in like
10 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. So you can do it with this.
Just reboot it. Like, if you want to reboot it and just all new actors, that's fine. If you want to reboot it and keep, I don't know, Jason Momoa, that's fine. And even if you want to keep Gal Gadot, if you really like, look, the first movie was like a real fucking hit. I get it. somebody made a comment I was reading. They were like, one of the worst things that happened to Warner Brothers in the wake of Justice League and Batman vs. Superman being bad is that Wonder Woman was actually good. Like, if it was bad, then they could have just rebooted everything and just like gotten rid of Snyder's whole thing and just moved on. But because her movie was good, a bona fide hit, it was like, fuck, they're stuck. They got to keep going with her. Like, it was actually not for them. It was actually kind of a bad thing, in a way. All right, what the fuck brought to you by JTD? Take it away.
A startup in this country, named Nadgers Incorporated, has created a sex toy that allows the testicles to be used for penetrative sex.
No.
Billed as the first ball dildo. The Baldo cradles the within a silicone container that can be inserted to a partner. Yeah, you have to click on it. It's a British startup. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yo, why is it a startup? Yo? Like, why is it a startup? Yo?
Quote, a new era in sex has arrived.
Yo, this came out on my birthday. Yo, this article came on my birthday. This is unacceptable.
We've created the world's first sex toy that will allow you to penetrate your partner with your balls and unleash pleasure that you've never experienced before. So the way this, I'm assuming you're seeing the visual aid.
Yes, I am seeing it. Yo, that looks painful. Yo, that does not look like a good time.
To use the Baldo, okay, hold on. According to Nadgers Incorporated, the Baldo
Nadgers Incorporated.
The Baldo is designed around the understanding that the scrotum contains approximately 6,000 nerve endings, with a distribution similar to a woman's vulva. According to Nadgers Incorporated, this means that it can be used to deliver a different type of orgasm that they call a ballgasm. To use the Baldo,
no way,
the wearer first applies lubricant to cleanly shaven balls, then stretches the Baldo
smooth as eggs
so that the ball sack sits comfortably inside. I'm doing my ASMR voice.
Thank you.
Two spacer rings are then pulled up over the Baldo, creating a similar level of rigidity to a dildo. The tip of the Baldo has the same shape and proportions as a penis, allowing for comfortable penetration, but the sides are open, allowing the balls to be stimulated.
Yo, this is all right. You trying this? You're an adult male.
My balls in a vice. I'm not putting my balls in a vice. Yo, I'm not putting my balls in any type of vice.
It sounds like yo. I don't like the vulnerability of the situation. Yo, I don't. No,
it's like yo. No. This is like what female video game characters in fantasy like go through, right? Like they wear armor that covers their nipples and their crotch, and everything else is exposed skin. That's what this looks like. This is fucking ball armor, and it's just but it doesn't protect the most vital portions of the balls, the actual balls.
I don't.
Also, like, apparently this is for really old people because
right, it's like they hang mad low.
Yo, you're putting spacers in it, yo.
Right,
you're putting spacers in it.
You're right.
Jesus Christ, yo.
That was my first observation. I was like, yo, these balls are hanging mad low to even do this. No, this is a no-go for me. I once saw a video of one of these documentaries on procreation, which you can find on X videos. And the dude was like giving this woman the business, and then he literally put his balls in. Like, he was like, he fucking pushed them in. He gathered them up and pushed them in. I was like, no, that That's not a thing. Like, please don't do that.
You just what, sit there?
Like he was just gyrating with his balls inside of her, and I was like, your balls? Your balls? Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Also, like this idea of quote unquote I don't like this term at all, but this quote unquote ballgasm, like I don't think that's real. Like I don't think you're getting this kind of sensation from just your balls. Like I don't think so. Otherwise, we would be having ballgasms as they're jingling around in your pants all day. Like, no, I'm not buying that.
It just, I think this is just, I don't know what this is.
Now, okay, I do. This video is wild. I do have to ask, if you lose this, is this a where's Baldo situation or no?
That's what they need. They need these things to be. They need the spacers to be red and white.
Yes,
and
should be striped.
And just.
I just don't understand. Why do you need spacers?
If your balls hang low, they said that the spacers are there so that it feels like a dildo, so that you can go from the balls to the shaft, so you can go shaft deep. While your dick is just sitting on the front, like just being all lonely and shit. Like what the fuck?
Yo, the balls are in. The balls are in. Oh, I just. All right, like this is wild because like there is a Baldo testimony video, and I kind of want to play it on the air. I wish I had this. All right, I may have to just play this through my laptop. I'm sorry. I feel like we have to hear this.
First experience of using it, I would say, was a very fun one. Yeah, it's definitely an exciting concept.
I had the best experience with it. It gave me the very first orgasm.
My first experience using the Baldo, I found it a lot easier than expected.
Using the Baldo with testicles is completely different from anything I've experienced before. Would recommend it, definitely. It has spiced up my sex life, yes.
My partner is on the large side, so we found the 2 rings that come with it were very, very helpful. So it is very accommodating to different sizes.
When she says that he's on the larger side, she just means how long his balls hang from his dick. Like, that doesn't mean he has a big dick. It's just that you have massive balls. like she's just with a 75-year-old man who's got long balls. I don't get it. Like, white people look weird, yo. Don't buy this. Also, shout out to Baldo. If you want to send it to us, we will try it out. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
This is wild, man. This is wild. This is fucking wild. The Baldo. Wow. Oh shit! John Cena action comedy on the way to Amazon. That's awesome.
What a weird segue.
Yeah, from the Baldo to John Cena.
From just like, hey, I want to put my balls in a tube and fuck you with that tube. And his name is John Cena.
Like, I am amazed. Like, what woman is like, yes. You normally like you putting in work like the normal way, but I want to see if you can put in work the balls way. Like I feel like you need to like be able to hang on something like so you can like thrust down like pushing your lower, like it's just weird. You're not gonna be able to like your body's like a fulcrum like at that point. Like
I would imagine you would be in some sort of power bomb situation,
right?
Slam someone down, but then you don't let go, and then you just keep going down. Like after you've given.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Like, I feel like you need to have sex in a room with like a low ceiling. Like, you can push your fucking body down to like really get shaft deep, as you would say. This is wild, dude. This is wild. So send us the Baldo. We'll try it out. We've tried other sex toys. We've reported back that we've talked about. That's wild, man. Haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll need the spacers. My balls don't hang that low. I'm only 42, not 72. And I don't think a ballgasm's a real thing. Like, I don't. So I challenge you, Baldo. I challenge you. I don't think that's a real thing. But I am willing to come on here and tell you the truth. Did it work? If my wife will allow it, she'd be like, "Get that out of here!"
like, what the fuck is that?
Like, no, it's for my balls. Like, oh, really? That's cool. Go sit down. Like, no. Now, I feel like you're gonna damage your balls. Like, I feel like your balls are a precious commodity. Like, I feel like you're putting your balls in danger. Like, nah, yo. Also, it looks like the shit from that movie, The Core, which is like not a good idea. It's the same idea. All right, that is it for us. We will see you guys next week. We'll talk about the Severance finale, and I don't know. Michael, you're trying to go see that Michelle Yeoh multiverse movie, right?
Yeah, I hope to report back. I'm really looking forward to that movie. And everything that I've heard about that movie says that movie is phenomenal. So it's opening this weekend to wide release. And
yeah,
but that, and I got to watch the original Top Gun and give you my
right.
review. Yeah, I have to give you my review. I wanted to watch it for this week, but I'll watch it and I'll give you my honest opinion.
I can't wait to hear your opinion of that movie. It's going to be fucking ridiculous. Because it's a ridiculous ass movie, but I love it. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.